our way to you. And we make the libation. And we put our demands across. Yes. And for everything to come to you, there needs to be a sacrifice. Whether it's even anything you have to give something to get something. So that is where we sacrifice chickens, goats, and other things to call unto our Almighty Asari. We believe that the earth is a female because it gives forth. So we call the earth Asasiya. Yeah, it's a Thursday born. Yes. So that's why we pour libation and call on the earth to produce more for us, be it in the ocean, in the rivers, or on land. Yes. So if you look at what we have traditionally and you compare it to what they brought, it was just about the same. Even ours was, I can probably say, was much more superior than what they believed in.
Indeed.
But then they managed to
brainwash
our ancestors.
Make us move away from our traditions.
They get you dependent on them for what
But they
you already
with
have.
violence, too.
And then they make you fearful that you're not going to have it.
Violence in the name
And
of
then
religion.
You cave in and go along.
Yeah, because when you look at our traditional taboos, we have a lot of taboos. But then if you look at the meanings of the taboos, for example, you can't walk with the slippers into a river to fetch water. Now the reason is that the slippers that you've worn from home, you don't know what you step in when you're going to the river, and you are wearing the river. You are wearing the slippers to go into that same river that you are fetching water home to drink. So when you get there, you take your slippers off and you enter it barefooted.
Common sense.
They will tell you that in order to put some kind of reverence, they will tell you the deity in the river doesn't like dirt, so you can't walk with your slippers to go into the river. And we say at night that when you are bathing, you don't talk. When you talk, then something will happen to you. It's because you are bathing with soap. You keep on talking, soap might enter your mouth. So don't say anything. Yes. And also when it comes to our greetings, traditional greetings, if I'm passing by your house and we are bathing, because our architecture, the bathroom is not inside the house. It's a compound house. So the walls are built in a way that it forms like a circle. So the bath is just is part of the wall. So if you are bathing, I know this is your house, and I say, hey, Auntie, Michio, greetings is a personal thing. So it is believed that you have seen me. That is why you are greeting me. It means you've seen my nakedness. Yes. So in order also not to just pass and go, you say Wonchio, meaning that we don't greet Wonchia. We don't greet, but it's a response. It's a form of greeting. You say Wonchio, then you also respond Wonjido. You don't respond. You get it? I'll go over it again. If I'm passing and I know this is your house and I hear someone passing in there, I assume that is you. If I say, oh, Auntie, I want you, meaning that I'm not greeting, but I'm greeting. You get it? Right. So then you also respond, Wanjedo, meaning we don't respond, but I'm responding to your greeting. So,
and what language is that?
Fanti.
Fancy, okay.
So it means I haven't seen your nakedness. Yes. Because if I greet you, if I mention your name and I greet you, it means how did I know you are the one there? It means I saw you. It means I've seen your nakedness. Yes. So in order not for you to also say, but I was bathing, you passed without greeting me. You say Wunchia, or meaning we don't greet. And then you also respond.
So what if they respond to you like they've seen you naked? How do you respond back?
So that's why you don't mention the name.
Don't do it.
Okay, I got it.
It doesn't matter if you've seen it or not. You just say want you.
Okay.
I have a question. Who are these people?
Yes, so we'll start. These people are those that the people that's sort of the implementation of the Christian faith or the Catholic faith in the then Gold Coast to today Ghana.
So who memorialized them here?
The Catholic Church. The Catholic Church.
Oh, the Catholic Church came here and
the Portuguese brought the Catholic faith here. So
Portuguese.
Yeah, the Portuguese.
So after telling the local people that their faith wasn't good enough, they brought their own religion, and then they put up their own memorials to memorialize themselves in someone else's country. Makes sense.
So the thing is, make them feel inferior. See us as the inferior. See us as the real ones, and then be able to dominate them. So back in the days, the religion was.
Look up here, you see this.
Yes.
So they still kind of, we looking at the Catholic Church.
Yes.
We all, they
And
look
it's up on a
first.
hill too,
They look
so you gotta
first,
look up.
And you all are looking at the China.
If you watch, we'll go along.
Let's knock in these things down.
Don't take too much. We have it was a prefect, 1880, 1893. Tells you how far back this went. In 1880, Reverend Augustine Monroe, he is accredited for instilling the Catholic faith here. Yes, because this is the first Catholic mission house in Ghana. The first church is actually in the castle. So tomorrow when you go there, you see the
Did you hear
church.
that? The first church is in the castle,
Wow.
in the dungeon.
There are a lot of controversies in there. I won't give you any spoilers. When you go there,
Okay,
you,
okay.
you would see it. You have Reverend Father, 1886, 1887. So it goes on all the way to the earliest blacks who took over.
So why is this kept up? Like, why don't they take it down? Because isn't this like painful history?
Like who owns the Catholics? Do the Catholics still own this?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's called the Roman Hill.
Roman Hill. Oh, and look up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big baby.
On top of the church. Wow.
So this is one of the earliest blacks.
1960.
Kojo Emisa. Not until 1957 that blacks started coming into.
Were they not allowed
religion.
prior to that?
You couldn't really go high.
Right.
They would always find something to keep you because there you are getting closer to a decision-making body.
In an African country.
Yeah.
An African couldn't rise in the
And
ranks
so the thing
of
is
the
that
Catholic
back
Church.
then, it wasn't just church. It wasn't just religion. It was business.
Right.
Because the businessmen will fund the expedition to the interior. Yes, they were funded by the businessmen. So you go and evangelize, take over, we will come in. So you go in when you make sure everything is okay, well seated, and they will send in a cavalry.
Wow.
And then do the
So
stuff.
rock them to sleep with the religion, and then we send it in to clean it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
We go rob them.
So you go in with everything, you establish everything, then we come in, we take over the plantations, the gold, everything, we take in the business. So these guys were actually giving the information to the people that, okay, these people here, they are about, let's say for example, like how the CIA and the others work, they have sleeper cells. So they were like the sleeper cells. They go there and then they say, okay, these people are here, they have about there are about 500 in the village. There is a lot of gold mines around. They have a lot of cocoa plantation. The area is good for farming. There is it's good for mining. They have some gold and other things, other stuff around. So then they say, okay. So what is the investment like? Can it be a long-term something? They say, okay, yes. Well, then they'll bring their people in, and they are the ones who negotiate. Yes, they negotiate on behalf of their people to the locals. So they tell you, okay, no, these people, you trust me. Once you trust me, you trust these guys also. They are my people. So then, somehow, some way, they manage and then they take over. So if you go across, it's there. You go to the Ebri area there, the Presbyterians took over. So that whole area is more of Presbyterian. Ebri, Ipiapen, those areas in the eastern. Yes, in the eastern side. Then the British from Cape Coast, there are a lot of Anglican churches. because that was where the British people settled. So if the Dutch hadn't given up around 1872, 1873, we probably would have been a Dutch country. Because they were fed up and they handed over to the British.
Oh, okay.
So the British had already settled in Cape Coast and Accra.
Okay.
So then they were like, okay, when the Elminians were proving difficult for them, they moved everything to Cape Coast. And Cape Coast became the capital. So Cape Coast was the capital of the Gold Coast to a certain point in time. And they moved it to Accra. So that's how come Accra became the capital. So it probably would have been here if the Dutch had remained. If you could turn back in history, it probably would have remained.
Yeah.
And this would have been the capital
So
of
the
a Dutch speaking, I don't know, Ghana. Yeah.
How did they communicate in the beginning when they don't know their language?
Yes, that's a good question. So when they arrived, led by Christopher.
Oh, was that dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they arrived,
That crook.
Don Diago, the Azambuya district, when they arrived, they met Nana Kopna Paul and San. San was the first, the one who settled here.
Okay.
So we don't know really, because we depended on oral history, it wasn't really written down, but oral history, they came in touch, and I'm sure probably either sign language or something.
No, okay.
And they managed to say, but with time, they learned it, because Kobnajan, according to written documents, was fluent in Dutch and English.
Wow.
The king who was sent into exile,
Wow.
he could speak and write Dutch and English.
Wow.
Yes, because he was mediating on
the Dutch speak and write, but
God.
you speak.
no, the fancy they couldn't, but then we learned it.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was mediating on behalf of his father. His father was then king,
Okay.
so he was mediating on behalf of his father and the town of the Dutch. Yeah, so they had no option than to learn.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm sure at a point some of the whites also learned their local language.
Okay. Thank you.
So if we stand here, you have a better view. Yeah. So how those are salt ponds.
Oh.
Salt pond, that's salt pond.
Yeah, no, salt for mining.
Oh, that's mining.
Yes, for mining salt.
Right.
Oh.
It was
What was that area called?
from this side going, it's called Bantuma. Yeah, going. But it goes all the way to the highway, to the main highway there.
Do you all have salt here, sell salt here
Yes.
from the mine?
Yeah. But now it's the rainy season, so you see it's flooded. The whole place is because the rainy season. So in the rainy season, they don't, it's not active.
Okay.
So the two main things done here, fishing is number one.
Right.
Fishing is the main economy of Elmina, not tourism.
Right.
No,
Tourism
really?
doesn't come.
No,
way.
really fishing? Really?
Yeah. Because of the system that we run.
Yes.
The money generated from the tourism really doesn't stay here. It goes to Accra.
Oh.
So the people also don't see any direct benefits from the tourism.
Just like us.
You know, because last 2 years you couldn't get a place to park your car during the year of return. You will not get a place to park your car. The place was full every day in and day out.
Wow.
But all of that went straight to Accra. So in a way, they really don't really care much about the tourism. It's their fishing business. What puts money in their pocket.
Okay.
So it's the fishing first, then salt.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So now it's a close season for the salt sector. So because it's rainy season, it rains and the whole place is flooded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they don't. Yeah, from the markets, but around this time they probably close, but you can get salt. So what they do is the water is from the sea. The lagoon goes all the way inside. So they dam the water. When it's high tide, it pushes back, all the way back. So they dam it, they close it.
Okay.
And when the sun shines on it, it evaporates and it goes behind the salt.
Okay. People that been back there.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's good salt.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I bought some the
is
other day.
Fishing holds the
I bought
economy.
3 bags.
Then the
no,
next one is
in
salt.
a car. Yeah, I even got some in my
Oh,
pocket.
that salt comes from here?
Yep.
So this one is white. It's very grainy.
Right.
The big grain.
Has a lot of minerals.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of minerals.
Yeah. We don't do the granulated one. The smooth one. No.
It's good for you.
So I'll go down. So what we'll do is when we go down, we'll go through the main road again. Now we'll enter. But way back, this was all marshland.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Way back. When the cemetery was in it. This part was all marshland and all salt corn. Yes. But then with time, they reclaimed the land and they built. So when there's a serious heavy downpour, there's a lot of flooding. Yeah. So we'll go through here and then you see how the locals do, like how we just walk through. Then we'll go to the
I wonder if they don't have,
So what else? Are there neighborhoods on this hill?
no, it's just the church.
Oh, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, they took the best part
Yeah.
of the
So
neighborhood.
as you go down, there are a couple of houses. Just behind here is the marsh. Yeah. Marsh.
oh.
What is this used for now?
It's a church.
Ah.
Let's go. St. Joseph's Minor Basilica. One of the earliest Catholic churches.
Just how to get an educator.
Sorry. Yeah,
You can stop now.